We're going to now talk about significant digits and calculating addition and subtraction. So with addition and subtraction, we have a different rule than we do for multiplication and division. So you're going to calculate as usual, and you're going to line up the numbers to match the decimal places, and then you're going to round to the fewest number of decimal places, not significant figures. So no counting sig figs in this one. So now let's take a look at our answers. So when we add these numbers together, we're going to round to the least number of decimal places. So over here, I have to the tenths place and to the thousandths place. So my answer is going to have to be rounded to the least precise measurement, which is the tenths place. So when I add those up together, I need to round that to the tenths place. And so that means I'm going to cut the number off here. And since that is a 3, I'm going to keep that at 15.9. So now with our next one, I have 2 decimal places and 3 decimal places, right? I have the hundredths versus the thousandths. So I'm going to round this one to the nearest hundredths because that's the least precise measurement. So I add these together. This is what it says on the calculator. And I need to round that to just the 2 decimal places. So I'm going to cut that off here. And now that's going to be, since this is a 3, I do not round up, so 16.75. So now here I get 34.5. And when I do this one, I'm just going to get 35 instead of 35.5 because this is to the tenths, but this is to the nearest ones place. Notice there's no 0.0. Remember, everything is done with intention. So that's why I have this to the nearest whole number, right, to the least number of decimal places, and that will be the ones place. And now with this one, I have a tenths place, I have hundredths and hundredths. So I need to get this down to the tenths place. And so that's going to be 169.6. So then when I'm taking numbers and I'm writing them into scientific notation, I have to circle all of the significant figures. And the sig figs are written in the coefficient. And then we're going to put the exponent in. So then where's the significant figure? In the first one, right? So I have 1. Let me see if I can get my cursor in the right spot. Right there, right? So here is 1. And now that's going to be times 10 to the 1. Oops, there I go with that little menu thing. 1, 2, 3 times 10 to the power of 3. And the next one, here's my significant figures, 1.0, and then 1, 2, 3. I went to the left, it's negative. To the right is positive. So now I want to make this between 1 and 10, so I'm going to put that decimal point here. Oops. Put that decimal point there. And there we go. Circle the sig figs. And so that's 1.32. And then I went 1, 2, 3, 4 hops. So times 10 to the power of 4. The next one is going to be, these are all significant, right? So I have to include them all. But I need to put the decimal point here because I need to get a number between 1 and 10. And then I'm going to go 1, 2 2 hops. So times 10 to the power of 2. So where are my significant figures? Those are right here. Okay. So I'm going to put the decimal point here so I can get a number between 1 and 10. And how many hops? It was 11 hops from here all the way to the very end. And now the next one, where are the significant figures? Right there. So then, oops. Okay, so scientific notation is not the same thing as raising a number to a power, right? So 3 to the power of 3 is versus 3 times 10 to the power of 3. All right, so 3 times 3 times 3 will be 27 versus 3,000, right? So just make sure that you're careful with that. And that wraps up the last of our significant figures rounding.